Well, all three of us have talked about Coach Baranczyk so far on the show, but now let's talk to the boss herself. We're joined by Jennie Baranczyk. And Coach, what a win you guys had this past weekend against West Virginia. You told us last week that there's no walk in the park in this insane Big 12 conference, and last week definitely proved that. A double overtime win. What does that do for your team as a whole?
Well, holy cow, I was going to ask you which one you were talking about. We've had a lot of close ones that have kind of come down to the end, but no, I mean, I'm just really proud of the way that, our conference has played this year. We've got great teams in our league, and I'm really proud of our team. We just continue to have fun and continue to play. And, even moments where, you get down, I'm proud of our response. I mean, yeah, we got to get a lot better. We're going to continue to do that, but we're going to still focus on having fun and responding. And, you also have to credit your opponent, and we have a great teams in this league.
And Coach, last week you kind of mentioned that your team doesn't really pay attention to the national polls or anything like that, but you guys are ranked number 12 now, and you're even getting some individual awards with Maddie Williams and Taylor Robertson both being on the top 10 watch list for their positional national award. What does that mean for your team and both the individuals as well?
Well, I think it's a byproduct of playing as a team. And I think, both Taylor and Maddie do an incredible job of leading this team, and they do it in a variety of ways. They complement each other so well. Obviously they can bring some different skill sets on the basketball floor. They have different personalities off the basketball floor, but the way that they lead just complements so well. And honestly, the rankings, the awards, like you don't get to choose that. You just get to choose that you want to play, and you continue to play. Yeah, it's nice in terms of some people being able to see that and to be able to vote you into those positions. But at the same time, it's a total byproduct of how much fun this team's having and continuing to just play the game that they love, and they play for each other. It's incredible.
Hey, Coach. So heading into your next matchup against Texas, how are you and the team feeling emotions-wise, especially after you guys defeated them the first time?
I think this week has been kind of our off week, right? And so we've had a week off. And so we've really focused less on, we've just been able to practice, to be honest. We've been able to focus on getting better in some areas that we need to continue to get better. We need to continue to refine, and February is just that time of year where you get excited about whoever you play against, wherever you play. And so we've got to continue just to take that momentum of the excitement that we play. It's not about how we played the last time, because trust me, like you can go back in that film, and even though, yes, we won that game, there are a lot of things that we can do to be better. And that's what we've got to continue to focus on, is just our continued growth, our continued opportunity. But again, just enjoying stepping on that floor and playing together.
Coach, you were just talking about focusing with the game this weekend against Texas. What are your team going to do to focus on that, and what are you going to focus on inside the game to be better?
Yeah, well, I think a huge part is our ability to be as fresh as we can, because I think a huge part is our ability to be as fresh as we can, because when you do have some time off, you do need to spend some time recovering and being able to get some of the rest that's needed, and also being able to work when you need to work. And, a huge focus for us is going to continue to be our rebounding. We've got to be able to rebound that basketball. One, Texas does a great job. Two, we're a lot better when we do that. And so and it's probably reverse. One is we're just better when we do that. So we've got to be able to do that. And, we've got to continue to make reads and to read each other. And I think that will help us take care of the basketball as well.
Do you plan on approaching the game the same way you approached Texas last time, or do you plan on approaching it with a different game plan?
Yeah, from an overall game plan, obviously you want to tweak some things here and there, but also it's a different time that you're playing them. They just won a great game last night at Texas Tech. And so, they're going to be different. They've learned, they've grown. We're different, right? We've learned, we've grown. So you don't necessarily ever get to look at it the exact same way, because it's a different time of year, and it's a different area in terms of our own growth. So that's what we really try to focus on, is our own growth. And then obviously you do need to prepare for a great opponent as well.
This season has been a winning season, and the culture you mentioned earlier has changed around OU basketball. What do you think about that, and what has specifically changed just around it, inside the program and out?
Yeah, and I don't know as much about what's changed and what's different, but I do know, because I wasn't here, but I do know that the culture in our program it's awesome. I mean, it's the chemistry, the way that these women, really truly care about each other and love playing this game together. They value each other off the floor, which is a huge part of your culture and chemistry. But it's equally as important that you can take that and put that on the floor and be able to play to each other's strengths, because everybody has different strengths. And I think that's a really beautiful thing that this team is able to do, is they really try to play to each other. So instead of, worrying about what we don't have, we continue to focus on what we do have and really play to each other's strengths. And I think that's the same as people that watch this team. They can watch this team have fun playing. I mean, you still want to be competitive. You still want to be able to do those, dive on the floor after loose balls and get really good box outs. And you want to be able to do all those things, but you also want to be able to do it with a smile on your face and pointing at each other and being able to really set each other up. I mean, that's internal culture, right? But that's also from an external standpoint, you get to see and feel that whenever you're with this team as well.
Well, Coach, we talked about some of the national attention that you were starting to get, ranked number 12 nationally, and individuals getting some recognition as well. I know you don't buy into that too much, but locally, you've kind of talked about the recognition that you guys are getting with fan attendance growing and how much that means to you. And former players are starting to take notice of that as well on social media. What does that mean for your team and for your program going forward when it comes to building that home court advantage and continuing to bring fans into the LNC?
Yeah, and our fan base has really been awesome. I mean, you talk about investment in the game. I know we've talked about it, but I love that more people continue to see what these women are doing. And I know part of it is winning games, but it's also when you come and you watch the way that they play and the way that they play together and the belief that they have in themselves and the people around them, that's fun. That's easy to get behind. And so I think people that have come, they've been really invested, and you cannot convince me that these games that we have won that are really close aren't because of our fans. I mean, our fans are on their feet. They're cheering, they're supportive. They've been amazing. And so it's been awesome to be able to see this community continue to rally around this team and this program. And I know it's just going to continue to get more and more people because of the people that are already here. And so I love that. I love that we have a lot more space that people can continue to come. But it's been phenomenal.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for joining us again on Game Day U. Best of luck this weekend against Texas when you go down to Austin, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks so much, you guys. I appreciate you. Boomer.